Shalom YouTube, this is Sister T, and welcome again to Rock. Now, because I was out here, outside, I decided I'd show y'all this okra patch that I talked about in the last video. Look at all this okra. All of these okra stalks, and it just got picked today, and maybe, if I can make it, I'll show at the end of the video the okra that was picked today. We are at this point picking okra probably every other day. And I seen in the last video someone commented and said that okra is part of the hibiscus family. You can eat, everything's edible, even the flowers. And I did actually read about that. So yes, we do eat the stems at this time as well as the okra. We boil the stems, so yeah, and we do plan on eating it and using the flowers as well. But anyways, the last video I mentioned at the end that I might be able to show the okra plant. I wasn't able to do that, so I decided before I start this video, I will show you the okra as I said. So here it is, okra! Okra everywhere. Okay. Well, one moment, I'm having some difficulties. Okay, shalom, I'm back. My phone was acting up. So I had to fix it, and now I'm back. I'm over here with the green bean trellis. This is one of the green bean trellises that we picked from Toucan. I have been killing green beans this year. Last year we did the canning, and I think by the end of the green bean season we ended up with either 50 or very close to 50 cans of green beans. So we are planning on doubling that or even more than that. So I had to come out and check this trellis today to make sure to see how many green beans we had that were ready that can be picked, because we want to keep the production going and we want to catch them before they get too far along and then they start going to, browning to where they're now going to be turned into seeds that you can replant, the seed pods that we can replant. However, we have enough seed pods. We are not trying to have too many. We actually want the food. This is food, that we go to can and store for the winter. So I wanted to come check. Sister Ebony was with the children, and they were getting goji berries. And, we are picking food today. Our children also picked the okra, which I said a little bit earlier in the video. And I'll go show you how much okra we picked just from today. We're at the point of picking okra every other day. And that's the pace we have to keep up with, picking this food. And it's such a blessing that food produces like that. And if you do it right, if you keep up with it, if you pick it on time and you keep up with it, you can have a very bountiful harvest. So that's what we want to do this year, trying to prevent wasting by letting the stuff sit on the vine too long, unless, we're allowing it to go to seed. And let me show you this real quick before I get to what I'm going to talk about. I was over here checking these plants because the squash bugs will come out. But look at this squash. That is a big one right there. I know Sister Ebony came out and picked zucchini. Her zucchini was about this big or so. And she picked multiple zucchinis. I showed one of them, a smaller one. And we have enjoyed that zucchini. It is now all gone, but we have more squash that we can come out here and pick. So anyways, I just wanted to show that. But yeah, this is one of the trellises that I was checking to see how much green beans was on it. I need to do some more canning. But anyways, what I want to talk to you all about was sisters being covered. We have covered this topic extensively. We have exhausted this topic before. But I'm going to talk about it again because there's something that is going on and there's questions. And I know a lot of sisters now. There are sisters out there who are trying currently to join Men's House. And some sisters who are trying to join Men's House are sisters who's already come out to join the Men's House, but did not like maybe the rules, did not like the fact that they had to submit, or that they were going to be under authority, or they didn't like the idea that, they weren't going to be the, what number helpmeet they had to be. I mean, all sorts of reasons, right? Or they wanted a certain level of independence that they weren't going to be able to have. And then other ones who was not even interested, who was on videos on YouTube and comment section talking about they're not interested. Now women are coming out and they are interested again. And they want to join Men's House, and some of them are being rejected like pretty bad. And, you know, some of them are going away sad now because they've been rejected. And I know for sure my master's inbox, women do join his inbox and they want to join his house. And the sad part of it is women who literally had opportunities, women that I have spoke to on the phone personally, me or Sister Ebony or both of us have spoken to personally, starting a process of getting to know this person to see if they fit, you know, just talking to them. Obviously, that's my master's decision. And for one reason or another, they did not like maybe the rules, or they did not like, you know, just the fact that, you know, they weren't going to have authority over their lives anymore the way that they are used to. And now sisters are coming back, and now they want to join men's house. And I know other brethren have experiencing the same thing. And the problem is, sisters, that the men are not as open as they used to be to accepting everybody into their homes. You know, when you women, and this includes me in the time that I came, sister, all of us, when we were raised, we weren't raised in our father's house. We was not raised to be submitted, obedient wives who knew how to love and take care of our husbands and be absolutely obedient, submitted, and doing what they say, when they say, and how they say. We weren't trained that way. And, you know, we were trained to be independent. We boasted about being independent. We boasted about being men's equals or all that. And so when we're already coming to a man for marriage, we have to understand that we were not already raised the way that we were supposed to be raised in order to be wives. And so that was already a challenge for men anyway. And that was already a challenge. That was already something that men were saying. Because how merciful Yah was to them, they were offering the same mercy to us women, to be trained and to learn, to work up under maybe other helpmeets that they already have. And some women were rejecting that left and right. And now they're back. Now you want to get married. And just know, ladies, I'm just answering some things that I know that's been asked or said. It's going to be much harder this time if it works at all. Because the men know that a lot of sisters did not want to do this. They were absolutely against it. They wanted to do their own thing. They already knew that most sisters were not prepared to begin with. They already knew this. And then what the sisters did is they went out and they wanted to have some more fun. They wanted to enjoy or experience more of their independence. They wanted to pursue something that they thought that they were going to be able to do, and it didn't work out. And then they're turning around and saying, okay, is your home still an option? And the men are not accepting that. They're not like, okay, you're going to go out, do what you do, and then you want to come back when your plans don't work, then come back and say, now I want to enjoy your house. And they're not going to do it. A lot of them will not do it. And it's going to be much harder to now join a man's house. And I mean, it's even so bad that there are women who have went out, who had opportunities where the man was probably even interested. I know some where the man was interested, and they went out and they didn't want to, they weren't ready to settle down for one reason or another. And they went out and they got pregnant by other men. And then 2-3 years later, now they coming to the same man saying, are you still interested? And they got a baby that's a year old, or a baby that's 2 years old, which just told the man, so you went out and did some more effing around, and you called yourself back then an Israelite who just wanted to learn, and you found yourself with a baby. So he know what you've been out there doing. So it was already bad enough that you weren't ready to begin with, that you weren't ready. When he first asked you, he knew that you needed some work. He knew that you needed some training, and he was willing to do it. But now you went out there and you made your situation that much more difficult by going off and getting pregnant. And now the man's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. And the thing is, they know that some women are trying to trap them up with more baggage that they have gotten themselves into, because they wanted to keep being out there, being independent, and continue on the path that they were on. And they did not care to join a man's house until that they ended up in a situation where they could no longer take care of themselves, or they could no longer have this fun, or they no longer had the means to take care of themselves or their child. So now they want to join a man's house. And it's sad because there's videos out there that people have taught, like that men are taking women who have babies, and there's been a whole other type of nonsense out there that that women should join houses if they have, children that they can't take care of, and that's not what it's for. And men are not jumping up and down ready to take on a woman and a whole bunch of children that do not belong to him. Because remember, you're taken away from that man and his family and the children that do belong to him. And it's not to say that there are not some situations where women have gotten themselves in, they have repented, they turned away, and they no longer do that stuff. And they may find a husband. Some of them may find a husband who will take that on, but not many. Not many. Not many at all. So, you sisters, I'm just answering the question. That is the problem. That's why a lot of you have been rejected. If you could still shoot your shot, I would. But that does not mean that you're going to have the same opportunities that you had before. That doesn't mean you're going to get the same yes that you once had before, especially if you're one of those who went out and went and had some babies after you had your opportunity. That's going to be definitely a much difficult situation. So I hope you sisters, stay encouraged. And if you are truly an honest, repentant sister who really wants to serve y'all and really want to join a man's house, and you are ready to submit and obey and do that, then you need to be asking Yah, and may Yah open up the doors. And if you're not that type, just know that the doors will not be open like they used to before. So I just want to come answer that question. And I am going to go ahead and I've got some green beans, and I'm going to pick some more and see, do I have enough to start canning. I hope you all are having a productive day. But before I end this video, I will have to come back to show you our harvest of okra. So anyways, thank you all for listening and joining in. I hope you have a productive day. I hope you have a blessed Shabbat. Shalom. Okay, this is a quick view as I, hold on. Watch out. Hold on, back up. This is what, like I told you I would. I'm just showing you the basket that was harvested today of the okra. And see, even the okra leaves, because we're going to use them too, and the stems and everything. So, look how much more we have. You see in the first video, you just saw a little some that you saw me cooking with. But this is the basket full. And like I said, we are picking okra every other day. So, that's what we got today. Alright, shalom.